Welcome back to another video, but this video is going to be very different. It's going to be the video where I tell you how I first met my father. It's not the best story to tell. It's more of an awkward story, and I barely share it, It's just one of them stories I got sitting back to my head like I don't think me and my dad are in such a good place right now. And he supports me with everything I do, like everything that I tell him I want to do, hey, is anywhere I can help, I want to be there for you, And he's a very good person. He's the most humble and respectful person that I know to this day. So this is going to be a story where I tell you the time I first met my father. So I first met my father 2 years ago. So I'm 20 now, and I met him when I was 18. I was working at McDonald's at the time, and I was still a senior. So people was coming up to me, like my cousins or whatever, and they were just coming to me saying, your dad's out of prison and he wants to meet you and this, that, and the third. I told him that you look just like him, this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, do you have a picture of him? And they say no. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what this man looked like. Y'all want me to meet him. And I didn't want to at the time. Like, it's not that I didn't want to. It's just that at that specific time, I was a senior. I was just more focused on graduating and just having time with my friends. So a little bit after I graduated, I reached out to him because I had recently talked to one of my coworkers at the time, and I'm just like, my dad wants to reach out to me, but I just don't know how to feel about it. So she was like, well, a lot of people don't have their dads in their life, so for your dad to try to reach out to you, it's not a bad thing. So I just think you should call him up. So I called him up on the work phone or whatever. I'm like, okay, hold on, like I need you by my side while I call him. Like I just need to know what he's gonna say. This, that, and third. So I call him up, and I'm like, he's like, hello. I'm like, hey, can I speak to, like, my dad's name Deshaun? So I'm like, can I speak to Deshaun? He was like, yes, this is him. Who is this? And I was like, well, this your son Dion. So I was like, hey, what's up? And he was so confused on why I waited so long to tell him, like, to talk to him. And so he was like, I've been gave your cousin a number for you to call me this and third. So I kind of lied, and I was just like, oh, well, he just gave me the number, he just remembered it, and I was like, oh, okay. Boom. So I told him where I worked and which location McDonald's I was working at, and I didn't know this, but I was walking outside, and I sat on the bench because I was off and I was tired, and the bus didn't come yet, so I'm like, okay, let me just sit on this bench. And then when I see the bus come down the street, I'll go across the street, sit down at the station. So I sat down at the bench, and I heard somebody calling my name, so I turn around, and I'm like, yeah, like, this, that, and third, like, yeah, it's me, Sean, this, that, and third. So I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, And so I wasn't mad at what he said at the time, but it was just like, me being so young, I just looked at it different, and I just turned the whole situation negative. And so he's like, let me remember what he said. He said, at that time, your mother wasn't in her best state of mind or whatever, and she really wasn't. And he was like, she was out here like that, and this, that, and the third. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So, and then he turns up and says, have, like, I always looked out for you. I knew about you, this, and that, third. And I kind of felt that way, like, when it comes to a child's life, you're not supposed to play when you're supposed to be a figure in their life. So, I was just like, okay, cool, like, cause I'm not trying to give a negative impression on the first impression. So, he's like, Christmas and stuff, I used to give your mom stuff, and she used to write her name on the presents, this, that, and third, like, I always been looking out, this, that, and the third. And so I'm like, okay, cool, and we kind of made that situation kind of short, gave him a hug, left. But before he approached me, it was brought to my attention that he was up at this job, just not watching me, but just looking at me and just seeing and studying me to look at a resemblance or whatever. But when I see him, I'm like, it's like when I seen him, it was like looking in the mirror. Like, he looked just like me. And I will be posting a picture on the screen somewhere, So, he later approached me and said, you know, I know where we can get a DNA test. So I don't know why I reacted the way I reacted, but I just basically was just cussing him out. And I know that wasn't the best thing to do, but it was just like, all this time, I never knew my biological father. So for somebody to say like they know who he is and they where he at and he wants to reach out to me, this and the third, it was just, that just kind of took a twist on everything. And I'm not hurt by it now, but I was like, you know, I didn't know you for 18 years, and for you to come up to me now and just say this, you know, I won't mind us going our separate ways because I really don't know you. And so, you know, basically going back and forth with him, you know, just being a child, basically. And you know, his wife at that time had reached out to me, and she had said, you know, he's not doing anything with himself. He's out here in the streets, blah, 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 blah. But me being so vulnerable, I believed it at the time, like, and I was just taking people's word for it because I wasn't talking to him at the time. And so, you know, this and the third. But when you see people for who they are and see their true colors on their side, you kind of get why people would talk bad on that person. And it just turned out they wasn't any type of, you know, different from what they was reacting to. So later on down that line, I noticed like who to mess with, you know, who to talk to, who not to talk to. And you know, I'm really close to my siblings now, and I'm gonna have one of my siblings and to collab with me, and we're gonna do something very funny. And I love her to death. I love all my sisters, brothers on my dad's side. Like, they're so cool, so chill, and they're so funny. But it kind of took a twist because after I was not talking to him for a minute, he hit me up and he said, you know, the family wants to meet you. And I want to say, I don't know if it was a holiday or anything, whatever, but I got to meet everybody, whatever. Oh, you look just like him. No. That. So around the time that me and my dad was arguing, this was before then, I'm like, let me be petty. You know, I'm already following, you know, some of my family members is not there. Like, he want to say, like, he need DNA test is not there. Let me just post a couple baby pictures. So I posted a couple baby pictures or whatever, and this was before that. And he was like, yeah, I seen you post a couple of your baby pictures, like, And I guess he was getting a resemblance of, like, yeah, like, we really do look alike. But it wasn't to be out of spite, but it was just to be like, you know, like, I have pictures, like, I know I resemble you. You might not know it. You might not want to take it in because, like, you just got out of your whole situation. You trying to build yourself back up into this world after, you know, being so caved in for so many years. And you know, I do love him. Like, he is like one of the best people I have in my life right now, as far as support and just have a conversation with from time to time. You know, I don't talk to him every day, but I do have a good conversation with him, and I do have like a good relationship with him. This and third, you know. We don't talk about that situation. I don't think it's a good situation to talk on or talk about. But I just want him to know, if he ever sees this video, you know, I'm sorry I had to put our business out there, but, you know, I just want to be more open with my supporters and tell them, like, give them a little bit of insight. And he kind of pushed me to do YouTube also, because when I told him about the idea, you know, he was like, oh, okay, you know, this, that, and the third. And, you know, he kind of helped me out a little bit with doing everything. So I just want to thank him. If my brothers and sisters ever see this, you know, I love you guys, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and support me, because, yeah, anything that y'all do, you know, I'll be there to support, even though we don't talk every day or whatever. I still got unconditional love for you guys. Yeah, so that's the time that I met my father for the first time, and I will be doing a segment for my mom, because, you know, none of my parents raised me, and I was raised by my aunt ever since, like, I was 2 weeks old. But I'm going to save that for another video. I hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm happy to share my story with you, because it's like lifting a big weight off my shoulders for holding stuff like this in for so long and not letting people in on my side or like my take of it or how I feel. But yeah, I do want to share more story time with you guys. I just got to find more things to talk about and more interesting events to talk about with you guys. I will be doing a lot of vlogging. So with the vlogging situation, I don't have my camera yet, but I plan on getting it like when I get paid or whatever. And I will be making a video like to compare what I'm doing now off my iPhone 7 Plus versus when I get my camera and I start filming on my camera and start vlogging and doing pranks and doing all the other stuff. But I just want to have good quality for you guys to keep watching. I don't want y'all to be like, oh, his camera's shitty, so I'm not going to watch his videos. But I just want to make it as good for you guys, and how y'all making it very good for me by subscribing, by viewing, and doing anything that y'all can do to support me. So thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. DelayMine_Instagram. That's what I'll basically be on this Instagram. But everything on my social media will be after this video. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys keep supporting me in the way that you do, because I just love the love that I'm getting, and I love subscribing to other people's channels as well, because they have so much interesting videos, and I didn't know like so many new YouTubers could have great videos, and I hope my videos are just as great, because I'm really up against some good competition. So yeah, thank you guys.